What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, which is the fourth part of the six-part series on how to solve Rubik's Cube. And if you've been following along, by now you would always almost learn how to solve cube. So this is the fourth part in which I'm gonna teach you on how to make the yellow cross and how to orient the edge in the edges in the respective places. If you haven't checked out the first three parts, check them in the description or check them or here, here somewhere. Three, two, one. So guys, by the end of the last part, you would have a cube that looks like this. If you have watched the last part, you would have a cube like this. That means you would have solved your white layer along with the second layer, that is each edge in their respective places. So, and then you would have a top layer like this, or a few other cases which I'm going to be showing in a second. So for this, I'm going to give you an important tip when you're trying to learn this and when you're solving this, when you're at this step, try to ignore the corners for now because the only thing we'll be dealing with now is making the yellow cross. Making the yellow cross as in like this. This is the yellow cross and then orienting the edges where they belong. For example, this edge is oriented and these are not. So I'm just gonna look for the proper way to orient them and then I would orient them. See, these are oriented edges. This edge color is matching with the centerpiece. Here, same, it's matching, and so on. So by the end of this video, you would have a cube that looks like this, with the yellow cross done, the edge piece in their respective places. You would have the edge piece in their respective places. So let's get into it. So any three cases that you may have is this, the dot case, where there's only this yellow center cap and the edges are not in the respective places. The edges are not yellow here on top. That is one case. The second case is this, where you have a yellow, you have two edges, so you have two yellow edges here that forming an L shape. You have the L case. The third case that you can get is a line case where two of the yellow edges are already oriented but in the opposite place, opposite to each other, like here. And as I told, just ignore the corners. If you ignore the corners, you have two yellow edges are placed where they are supposed to be, and they are opposite of each other. And the last case is you have already, it's a very lucky case where you have already, when you finish your second layer, you have already have a cross here. That is yellow, all of them are yellow edges. So the first case that I'm going to be teaching you is this, the line case. So you have two yellow edges already, but they are there on the top, but they are opposite to each other. Now the way to solve this is to have a simple algorithm. So the algorithm will be you do an F. That is, before you learn the algorithm, you should understand the algorithm. You should know from where you should execute the algorithm. So you should make sure that the edges are facing right and the left. That means you should not be holding like this, where this edge is towards the front and this is towards the back. You should hold such that these two edges are towards the right and the left. Then you should apply this algorithm. That is, you should first do an F move, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. So you will have a cross. So the next case that I'm going to be teaching you is the one with two edge pieces, but they are next to each other. So they have two ways of solving them. So first I'm going to show you the one that if you don't want to learn another algorithm, if you want to use the same algorithm, I'm going to show you one way, and if you want another algorithm, I'll show you the other way. So first, I'll show you the way with which you can solve using the previous algorithm. So what you need to do in this is you should make sure that one of the yellow edge pieces is facing towards your left, the other one should be facing towards the front. So this is how it should be: one edge towards your left, another edge towards your front. So what you have to do is you have to do the algorithm that we saw in the previous case, then do it again. You would have the cross sort. Or else, if you don't want to do that, if you want to do it in one go, then it is a very similar algorithm to the previous one. What you can do is you can make sure instead of doing that algorithm twice, you can make sure yellow is facing you. One of the yellow is facing down towards you. Then another yellow is facing towards the right. So as we learned in the previous one, we just do this direct F, but instead of doing this direct F, what we do is a wide F. So we do a wide F. That means we move this layer along with the middle layer. So we'll be moving it like this: wide F R. Except for this wide F, everything else is same, and everything else is same for this algorithm. So wide F R U R prime U prime. Then put this back: wide F prime. You'll have this yellow cross. So here we have the dot case as I told, and the best way I'm going to explain it to you intuitively. So to make the cross, what we do is we convert this dot case into any one of the previous cases that we know. So here I'm going to be explaining by converting it to an L shape first. So I just do the algorithm which is the same algorithm that we learned last time. That is F R U R prime U prime F prime. You would get the L shape, and then we would go on solving it normally, like so. And we have our cross ready. So now that you have got your yellow cross done, what I'm going to teach you is orient the edges. Now, what does orienting the edges mean? Orienting the edges means making sure that all the after you have made the yellow cross, all the other colors of the yellow edge pieces, all of them are matching with the centerpiece. In this case, if we move this here, these two are matching, making this an oriented edge. However, however, all of the others are not oriented. They are not. They are in different slots. So how to change this? I'm going to teach you right now. So basically, what we need to do is always in any case, you will find that two of two of the edges are always oriented. Now you'll be wondering, oh, only one is oriented, but no, you should move it around to check. So in this case, only here in this case, if we just do one U, we'll have this and this oriented. So we have two oriented. So, but if we had it like this, we have to move it. If it only one is oriented, we have to move the top layer to make two oriented, one and two here. Now we notice that these two are not oriented. So what we should do is we should look at it like this. Take the right side one, which is not oriented, which is green. So when we keep this here, we need to do this algorithm. This is also known as the soon. R U R prime U prime R U2 R prime. Then do a U move to align all the edge pieces. We have all the edge pieces. Now another case is what we have noticed in the previous ones is that whenever we had any oriented edges were always next to each other, but there are some cases where the oriented edges are not next to each other. For example, in this case we have this edge piece needs to go here and this edge piece needs to go here. These two are already oriented in their respective places, but these two need to go but these two are not oriented. But we have learned the algorithm only for swapping, for orienting the edges if they are next to each other. In this case, they are not next to each other. So I'm going to show you how to solve this. To solve this case, when the two oriented edges are unoriented edges are opposite of each other, what we need to do is we can hold any side. We can actually hold any side. We can hold this side, this side, this side, this side, or this side as well. What we need to do is we need to apply the previous algorithm that we learned in the previous case. So R U R prime U R U2 R prime. And then we just and after that we just need to search for the corners. We just need to search for the edges which to orient any two edges. So we'll get the case that we have already learned. What we are doing by doing that algorithm is we are creating a case that we have learned, that is when the oriented edges are next to each other. So we have made the case in which these two oriented edges are next to each other. So now we can just solve it like normal. Search for the unoriented edges, choose the right side, do the algorithm. You have oriented all the edges. So that's it for today, guys. In this video, I've taught you on how to solve the yellow cross and how to orient the edges in the respective places. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you on how to solve the corners in the respective places, how to orient the corners in the respective places, and then to solve them. That's it for today, guys. Stay updated, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell icon to stay updated for my fifth part. And if you haven't watched out my first three parts, the link is in the description, and the playlist I've already created. So when it's completed, you can watch it out. And also you can watch it out because the first three parts are already there in the playlist. So the link will be in the description. That's it for today, guys. Peace.